So, how are we doing today, Joe?
Good.
All right, good. Good. So, we're doing some translucent gray coverage color today.
Okay.
Now, the goal with the gray coverage color is we're just going to try to blend it. We're not going to be fully covering everything, so it's going to look really natural.
Okay.
It's going to be a little bit darker, kind of more towards your natural hair color, but we'll still have some gray peeking through on the side, so it's going to look really natural and seamless, okay?
That's not going to affect the color at all?
Not enough. A little bit of light product in the hair is okay, and actually because he has gray hair, it might actually help us a little bit. Most of the time, if you're doing any sort of bleaching, you don't want to have any kind of product in the hair because it will slow down the chemicals, the way they work, the chemical reaction, because it has to go through whatever that coating on your hair is before it can get past the cuticle and actually start to whiten. All right, so we're going to use the level finder. How light or dark it is. Each brand has their own specific system for their color. So this level finder is actually a Paul Mitchell one, but it's what we had on hand. So if you look, we're going to go as close to the root as we can. So if you can see the color he probably had on before that we can still see a little bit here is a level 7, and that was too light. That wasn't close enough to the natural color. So if we go through here, we're going to see his natural levels probably kind of closer to a 6. See where those darker hair. The lower the number, the darker the hair. The higher the number, the lighter it is. So we determined the natural is about a 6. Like I said, it looks like a 7 was probably put on here. It might have been a 6 and it might have just faded, but that is too light. So we need to go a little bit darker. So I'm probably going to go in with a 6. Now, because we're doing blending, we want to know the percentage of gray that he has. So again, this is just a nice visual so you can see. So he's about 50% gray. 50 to 75. So if you were trying to cover all of that gray, that would affect how you were mixing your color, but because we're only trying to blend it, it still affects how we mix our color formula, but not quite as much. It means we don't have to add as much to our formula to make up for that lack of natural pigment.
Is there such thing as having like too much gray? Color?
Not exactly. It just depends on how long that color will stick. So gray hair doesn't have any pigment in it. So that's what makes it hard for the color to hold. And when we're covering it, we have to sub in the natural pigment. We have to add it back into the hair because it's not there already. So if we were trying to completely cover this, we would add extra double naturals into our formula to substitute for the natural pigment that he no longer has right here. So you can cover pretty much anyone who's 100% gray. It's just how long is it actually gonna stick? A lot of times, especially if you want full gray coverage, some people are color their hair every like 2 weeks because it's just a lot harder to blend that hair when it's so soft and it's lacking all the pigment. So now we're gonna mix, and let me go grab the color stuff. I was gonna say, if you wanna pause, I have to go grab the color. Yeah, this is the Rusk in 10, so I'm gonna get some 20 volume. All right, so we determined that his natural level was a 6 on the Paul Mitchell finder. So Rusk in 10 is actually on the American level system, so it's slightly lighter. So I'm actually gonna use a level 5 for him to blend his gray, even though the finder said 6.
Where do you get that scale from? That's just
this is actually a kitchen scale, definitely an Amazon purchase. They do make color scales. I honestly don't think that they're that much more accurate. I don't think it really makes that big of a difference.
I mean, all it's doing is giving you a weight.
Yes.
So you can use
So this is a little bit of 5M. So because we're not, he doesn't have a crazy amount of hair, I'm only gonna do like 1/4 of an ounce. That's close enough.
So that's like what? Is that half a tube that you use?
Not even. Like literally 1 turn of the tube. So these mark 10 milliliter mixture. So you're supposed to be able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 5 applications out of a tube. And honestly, we probably get a lot more. This is the developer. Yep, this is what's gonna. So most colors are 1 to 1.5 or 1 to 1. This one's actually 1 to 2, which is nice because again, that gives you a lot more.
So they don't have to like prep them at all, like you do with the perm, you know, where you like protect this.
Real quick, I just like to use our beard oil.
And that just helps keep the color from sticking?
It just helps keep it from staining the scalp, you know, around the ears and all that.
So this whole procedure should be like a 30-minute, you know, including the mixing, the shampoo after?
Absolutely.
Not including the haircut?
Not including the haircut, but yeah, just about 30 minutes. I usually I'm letting it oxidize for like a couple of minutes, and thankfully with short hair it's pretty straightforward. You don't really have to take a whole lot of sections or anything.
If his hair was longer, you might want to.
We would absolutely split it up into sections.
So you would do this, but if he was getting a haircut, you would do it before.
You know, not cutting where they were just cutting the top. But with longer hair, I definitely cut first. But with shorter hair, I color first, especially with longer hair. Like, you know, we're not cutting his hair today, so we don't have to worry about cutting out all this color we just put in. But if you have someone who wants a big transformation, it makes more sense to get their cut where you want it, so then you don't have to use quite so much product.
So you're just trying to be careful to make sure you're coating like both sides.
Yes. Making sure I'm coating both sides of the hair and making sure we're getting all the way to the root.
So how could somebody that's new to color mess this up, this part right here?
This is the pretty straightforward part, absolutely. Honestly, the errors can come, honestly, this is the easy part. The mixing part, I think, is the harder. This color system is pretty straightforward, so even if you're kind of fresh, it's also a non-progressive color. So if I were to leave this on his hair for, say, 25, 30 minutes because, you know, I forget, or it's always going to be that level 5.
How do you know it's a non-progressive? Does it say it on the box?
That is actually, that is through the education that I got from the color brand. And because Rusk came out with the 10-minute color right around the time there were a lot of brands that were starting to kind of do it. I know specifically, I don't want to get in trouble, I don't want to like crap talk any specific brands, but I know some brands had the issue of their color was getting too dark. You know, if it was on for more than 10 minutes, it would start getting way past the level that it was supposed to be. I would recommend using it on the face because that is not what the manufacturer says. All right, Joe, how are you feeling? Good.
And what's the next step? Is to shampoo it out?
Yep, after this we'll shampoo it. I also like to make sure, I know we have that barrier stuff on here, but I like to make sure if we get any spots on the hair or the ears that we wipe it.
Start to wipe it away.
Exactly, before it seeps all the way into the skin, and then it gets a lot harder.
How long would this last? Just until it like shows out?
Yeah, with someone who's getting their hair cut every 4 to 6 weeks, I'd say around that time is when the color is going to probably need redone. Because with the way it's growing, you're cutting all that hair off, so you're exposing that gray.
So you want to do it like whenever you get your hair cut?
Probably. I'd say every time you get your hair cut or every other time. Sometimes what people will do is they like the gray look kind of down here, so they'll just do a fade and they'll color the top. So they won't cut the top to make the color last a little bit longer, and they'll just get it faded between appointments. It's been 10 minutes. Come on back. Yeah. No, that's exactly how it ends up down your back. All right, really nice scrub on here. Yes, so actually there is a 2-minute mask that Rusk has that's for post-color services. It's what it's what I always use in here. It's a 2-minute mask, so it's a deep conditioner and only stays on for about 2 minutes, but it helps kind of seal the color in there, seal the cuticle and everything. Yes, it's that black tube right by the active. Joe, are you good? Do you feel anything dripping down your back or anything?
Nope.
Okay. Again, if I see any color staining around the face or anything like that, I want to make sure that I get it really good with the shampoo. It looks like we did pretty good. We weren't messy today, so that's awesome. Absolutely. Usually, most color protecting balms are made of like petroleum jelly or I've even seen people use regular chapstick. You want to take a little piece of hair that's kind of like in the back where you won't see it. You want to color it, and then you also want to put a little bit on their skin just to see if it immediately starts to react. Usually most people who have hair color allergies, sometimes they can develop them where they'll do a patch test, it'll be clear, and then after using the color for so long, they tend to develop an allergy to it. I know PPD is the big one a lot of people are allergic to, and a lot of colors are moving away from that as an ingredient now. And Joe, I'm sorry we talked through your whole spa moment here. I'm gonna take that off. We put a little bit of eucalyptus astringent on the towels just to make it kind of smell good. And I think I forgot to mention earlier, the other reason that I went a level darker is because, again, even though we're not blending all of the gray, his hair does not have any natural pigment. So I wanted to go a little bit darker because think of when you spread paint over a white canvas, you're going to see it's going to be translucent. You're not going to see. With this, I went a little bit darker so that we wouldn't have so much of that peeking through, so that it would look like a 6. And I'll meet you right back at my station. And you can just throw the towel on. All right. No, it's just a leave-in conditioner. This one specifically I don't think has any UV filters or any color protecting properties, but it is really moisturizing and gives you that first layer of control. Gotcha. Okay. So, Joe, before we clean up your neck and everything, I'm going to give you the mirror so you can take a look. How we feeling? All right, now do you want me to just do the straight blade on the back of your neck?
Sure.
Okay. And do you want any product in it before you go?
Yeah, just a poofy.
Gotcha. Do you like a shiny finish or a matte finish? No preference? Okay, cool. We'll probably go with matte. No, I just avoided the very edge of the hairline where he has these extra hairs right here. Yeah, I just avoided that because I knew we were going to take it off. Exactly. Yeah, it's a nice quick one. A little bit of... the tea tree matte cream. I like this one because it doesn't have a super heavy hold. It has this really nice workable like toothpaste frosting texture. Go both ways to make sure we saturate all the hair. All right. Yeah, how do you feel? How's everything looking, Joe?
Good.
All right. Give me the hand mirror so you can check it out one more time. And I have a question. Do you want me to take your sideburns up just a tiny bit with the trimmer? Okay. Still want to clean you up even though we're not doing a whole haircut. That's all right. That's all right. All right. Is there anything else I can do for you while I got you in the chair today, Joe? All right. Absolutely. Oh, before and afters. Sorry. I'll leave the